Oh. Hey.
Hey. You gonna work all day?
I'm sorry, baby, but this thing is just kicking my ass.
Miles, it's Sunday. You promised to take the kids to Raging Waters today.
I can't. I'm on a roll.
Hello and welcome to another day in paradise. Lagos and Accra, two of West Africa's shining monuments to civilization. But which one stands out? Which one has the most potential? Which one is going to be the number one go-to destination, not just for diasporans, but for everybody? Well, I'm going to discuss this now, but first I'm going to ask you to please like, subscribe, share, and click the bell notification. Now, I already know how inflammatory this subject can be, because there are a lot of people who feel very passionately about their cities in their respective cities. Definitely in Accra, the pride there is immense, absolutely immense. And in Lagos, you know, they sort of have this air of arrogance, would you say? High confidence that Lagos is, for them, the number one city in Africa. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and use subjective methods to try and find out which city is the best. So we're going to look at 4 factors. We're going to look at ease of assimilation for you diasporans, potential diasporans, repats. We're going to look at livability. We're also going to look at potential, the potential for each city, and we're going to look at the number one factor, people. 4 factors that I would have to agree with you are highly subjective, because I think they all depend on who you are and what position you are in. But never mind, we'll give it a go. So let's start off with assimilation for you diasporans. As you may know already, Lagos is not the cheapest city in West Africa. Actually, it's probably one of the most expensive to live in. But the good thing about the city is that it's so big that there are, and its middle class is growing so fast that there is more and more very good westernized properties, I would say, available. So they don't have a huge price tag, and you can get a lot for your money. You can have a house built for you, which is brilliant in Lagos. You can even get a mortgage, a type of mortgage. You can pay in installments over a year, 2 years, 3 years even. So you don't have to go out looking to find a bank that will lend you the money. You just go in there, you pay your 20%, and that's it. You're in a house. For me, this is marvelous, because obviously if you're a diasporan, you're moving back to the continent, you're going to want to have some some form of flexibility with your finances. Accra, you can do something similar there too. However, I believe that from what I've seen, because I've been looking for houses in Accra, the houses there, you have to pay more to have the same level of sort of refinement. If you want to get yourself a brand new house somewhere with good access to the city centre, you're going to shell out in Accra, which is unfortunate. So, you know, I think in terms of properties, I think Lagos has probably got this one. Assimilating, I think in terms of, you know, getting inside the society and then living amongst people. I'm not sure if Lagos has got this one as well, because Lagos is obviously a massive city, and people there are not going to find it weird to see a guy there with a British accent like me, someone that looks like them with a British accent. There are plenty of Nigerians in the United Kingdom, so it's not a completely strange thing to them. Yeah, like I said, it's a cosmopolitan city, so I think it's a little easier for people to settle down if you're just moving there, for people to settle down and just get on with their lives. Whereas in Accra, I think from when the last time I went there, they tend to point you out straight away. They know who you are. I remember going there, and I remember doing everything in my power. I was there 20 years ago. I tried doing my best to look like one of the natives, even dress like them. They weren't having it. They knew straight away that I wasn't from there. There's a lot more money swimming around in Lagos as well. So if you're one of those types of people that don't want to start a business and doesn't want to be free, I just find it funny. I find it funny when people want to work for somebody else. I'm sorry. Yeah, but if you're one of those types of people, then yeah, Lagos is a good place. You can find yourself a job, especially if you've got professional qualifications from the West or Western degree. Yeah, it's possible. You're not going to earn a ton of money in comparison to what you would get, you know, living in the diaspora, but you're going to be living amongst Nigerians, some of the most beautiful people on the planet. With Accra, I think it's easier to start up a business and have that business become successful because there isn't as many people there, so there isn't as much competition there. It's still, for all intents and purposes, virgin territory. So I think that, along with their the great return marketing that they've done, you're going to have a whole new populace of people there in Accra to sell to. So I think in terms of small businesses, starting a small business and running a small business, I think it's easier in Accra because you don't have the overheads that you would have in Lagos too. So there you have it. You have with assimilation, I think you have like I said before, it's subjective. It depends who you are and what you want. I don't think either city could beat any other city. Like I said, Lagos is bigger. It's more wild, I think. So if you're looking just to get in there, just get into Africa and live a decent life, I think Accra is the place to be. If you're looking to make it, if you have the guile, the balls, the energy, then Lagos is your best bet. Okay, so on to the next one, livability. Now, a lot of people are going to think that this is just a foregone conclusion and that Accra is going to just win this one hands down because of the reviews that everybody who goes to Accra gives, that it's a lot more safe than than most African cities, that it's large enough to generate money from the populace, that it has a decent amount of international visitors coming there. So it has a lot of things which most people would believe would allow it to beat Lagos hands down. And I can't really argue with them, if I need to be honest with you. Lagos is a place where, if you're a businessman, it's absolute heaven, because everybody is there to make money. That's what everybody's prime goal is in reality. It's to make money. And you know, if you can't make money in Lagos, if you can't hustle money in Lagos as a businessman, there's no point in going into being a businessman. But living isn't all about money. Yeah, it's about being able to have a life where you feel fulfilled, and you can have a good day and believe in yourself that you don't want to be anywhere else on this planet. Now, I've been to Accra, and like I said, I loved it, but I've never lived there. And the problem many people are going to experience when they move to Accra is that while it's safe and whilst the people are good, it can get a little, what's the word? Tedious. I know you have places here in Europe that are exactly the same. They are, you have places here in Europe that are safe, sound, your money comes in, everything else. Places like Amsterdam. I lived and worked in Amsterdam for a few years, and it got so tedious, so boring, that I left. We left for, I think I went to go and live in Barcelona instead. It just killed me. Don't get me wrong, there's just that monotony. But people love monotony over there in the Netherlands. They like that because it gives you stability. So if you want stability, if you're looking for stability, if you're bringing your family over there and you just want to make sure you bring them up in a society where you don't feel marginalized, then Accra is the place to go. If you're young and you are very hungry for success, very ambitious, then I don't think there's any other place on earth. Forget New York. Forget New York. There is no other place better in this world than Lagos if you want to try and make it big. So once again, it's subjective. If you've got a family, you're looking for stability, absolutely Accra. If you're looking for fun and excitement and adventure, I would say Lagos is your best bet. Potential. That's what we're doing now. Potential. Which city has the most potential? This is a good question. Okay, it's a hard one to answer. But if you look at what type of action the governments, respective governments, have taken historically and what they're planning to do in the future, it should be able to give us a good answer in which city has the most potential. Because whilst Lagos has the money, it has the natural resources, it also has the nepotism, it also has the corruption in abundance. It's come out as being the number one in the world of corrupt countries on many occasions, but you've got to respect the place. The people who did that survey were more than likely Muzungus from here in Europe. So you have to take those numbers with a pinch of salt, because there's just as much nepotism and corruption going on in the United States of America, but they call it lobbying instead. right? It's like legalized corruption, so you can't really take that to heart, so don't worry about it. They seem to have sustained growth. Their infrastructure projects that they have going on in Lagos is just unbelievable. It is out of this world what they are planning to do with the high-speed trains and the trams. I mean, all these things are already been implemented. They're already putting these plans. They've already broken ground on most of these things. So, you know, it's not just talk. These guys are walking the walk too. So this gives us a few indicators. It tells us that Lagos is going to grow, and it's going to grow massively. Everybody knows that. All the indicators are telling us that there's going to be 50 million extra people living there before 2050. That is unbelievable growth, and that only means one thing. It means more money. Accra have taken a different approach. So it's focused more on its people. It's not focusing on money as being the number one object of making your life happy and being happy. They've focused on the people. And they've started essentially with the diaspora, bringing back the diaspora and implementing growth in population and also in influence by bringing the diaspora back, and also by doing the same thing, improving on infrastructure to make life very enjoyable for its citizens. Now, Accra, of course, in Ghana they do have natural resources, but it's nowhere near as big as Nigeria's. So, you know, they've had to diversify their income a lot more and they've had to really focus on what they can do, and they have chosen the people, which is a good thing. What's going to happen when, well, the oil's not going to run out for Nigeria, you don't have to worry about that for now, but what's going to happen when oil is no longer needed as a fossil fuel? It is a fossil fuel, it is finite, it's not going to be there forever, so what's going to happen? You know, and so in the very long term, Accra has this positive thing going for it, because it's not focused on oil, even though it has it. It is an exporter of oil. It's not part of OPEC, I don't believe, but it is an exporter of oil. So they do have these natural deposits there. But, you know, what can I say? So if you're looking at potential, oh man, this is a difficult one, and I'm really trying to be careful because I know what you guys are going to be like in the comments. Ah man, and I don't like that. I don't like it, but I'm going to have to choose one. It's one of those things, guys, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to choose very short term Accra, medium term Lagos, and very long term Accra again. I think Accra has already started to build these foundations as well for a future 100 years from now, and I think that's a really beautiful way of looking at things. So I think Accra's got this one in the bag. Okay, last but not least, the people. I was dreading this one, but you know what? I know it needs to be done. So here we go. Now people are going to say, oh, Nigeria, corrupt, crime-ridden city, Lagos, wow. How could you ever talk about them in a good light? The truth be told, I've never been to Nigeria, and the fact is that the only Nigerians I know, the Nigerians that I have met in the diaspora, and I've never met a bad Nigerian, ever. They've all been incredibly good people, hardworking, honest, with integrity, which means that somebody must be lying about something, because all you hear when you hear about Nigeria, all you hear is negative talk about the people. And I think that they have perhaps been unfairly given that bad label. Yeah, there are criminals, especially in the diaspora. There are Nigerian gangs in Italy that the Italian mafia stay away from. Okay, so we're talking about people who are absolutely ruthless. Okay, there was one story of a woman who came over the Mediterranean. She was smuggled from Nigeria into Italy, and when she got to Italy, she was 4 months pregnant. And this Italian gang, wow, what kind of people are these? They took her, obviously, put her into prostitution. When they tried to do it, she was like, I can't do this, I'm 4 months pregnant. They cut the baby out of her. What kind of person what kind of people do this? And the thing is that these stories are the stories that you hear going around the world. When you hear about this, when you hear about the Italian mafia being afraid of gangs like Black Axe and the Vikings, then you have to wonder, what the hell are they afraid of? And you hear stories like this, well, it answers a lot. But I don't think that we should be using the negative side, the bad side of the bad people to find out exactly what people are like, everyday people are like in Nigeria. So I think, like much of West Africa, the people are good, but they have their bad apple. And of course, Lagos is filled with those bad apples. Accra, I would say, the people there are, I'm not even going to say that they're more honest and more trustworthy, but they definitely have something which sets them aside from most people in West Africa. They have less of that poverty mindset, I would say. I'm working with people in Accra right now. I'm starting up a business over there, and the levels of trust that I can give these people, I could give them 10 grand right now and disappear for months at a time, come back and that 10 grand would still be there. And that's the types of people that I know. You need to, if you're planning on starting up a business, you need to have those types of people there, especially in West Africa. Ghanaians are just, I don't know, they're top people. I'm really looking forward to, I've got one business started up already, but I've got another one on the way. I'm starting both my businesses and basing them both in Africa. So that tells you a little bit of something about the way I feel about the people. And the guys that I know are so good. I feel so blessed to know them and to work with them. Yeah, I'm a lucky guy. So listen, I'm not going to choose out of the people. I'm just going to say, hey, there are bad apples in both camps. There are, of course, people who will take your money also in Accra as well. But people in general, and I might be being a little bit biased, but people in general all over West Africa are just good people, honest people who just want to earn a living and live a good life. Okay? And that also goes for Nigeria too. So there you go. I mean, a lot of people say that Lagos and Accra are incomparable because although they are both capital cities, oh wait a minute, Lagos is not the capital, is it? Ooh. Oh, anyway, because they are two cities which you can't really compare because one is so bigger, so much bigger than the other. There are going to be differences. There's going to be more crime in Lagos. There's going to be more nepotism. There's going to be more of everything. Okay? And there's nothing much you can do about that. But if you know the route, Lagos is a good place to be. Accra as well. They both have their positives and their minuses. So there you go. What do you think? Do you think Lagos is better than Accra? Do you think Accra is better than Lagos? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Okay, I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of my day. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day too. Have a good one.